Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and you must be thinking, hey, Dark Sage, I know you're a bird person, but how come you've never played or run as the bird person? Well, it's not that I haven't, it's that I find the Guardian to be rather underwhelming. And don't get me wrong, I think his design is cool. I think he's got a very comfortable proficiency in the guard counter playstyle, which I do enjoy, don't get me wrong. It's just other aspects of the character have kind of caused me to not enjoy it very much. But as I was kind of perusing through forums and gathering ideas, I did stumble across an idea that I really liked, and then I found a very good relic for it that just made me decide, you know what, let's give this a try. So here's our build. We've got a whole bunch of extra vigor. We've got the rally mechanic. We've got increased duration for character skills, so improved whirlwind duration, the Everjail effect. And then the third relic is what really ties it all together. Creates whirlwind when charging halberd attacks, so that's gonna push our build into focusing on charged heavies. Taking attacks improves attack power, which is wonderful for Guardian's high health and poise. And most importantly, changes compatible armament skill to endure. So the whole idea behind what we have going on is to use endure to tank through enemy attacks, and then just lay into them with charged heavies. And I will show you how this works against... See, I'm not confident enough to go up against Everdark Libra. Maybe I'll do that in a future video, just because I do want to do a build against Everdark Libra at some point. But let's show off this Guardian build first. Now, in case you're wondering, hey, how come you don't just do something like this with the Raider? Yes, that is actually probably, statistically speaking, the best idea, is just do this same thing with the Raider. I'm actually going to start up there and work my way down. See, the whole reason to do this with the Guardian is because, one, it's absolutely a possibility, but two, because charged heavy attack builds with Raider are not that great if you're using his basic weapon. Whereas charged heavy attack builds with Guardian are actually pretty viable. Mostly because his charged heavy attack doesn't take a week and a half to trigger. Alright, so let's hit the site of grace. Alright, so the whole idea of skipping over the... Actually, no, we shouldn't... No. I'm going to stick with my original idea, the whole idea being that we hit this for the Stone Sword key, then start rotating our way down. Alright, what is this glowing blue spot here? Must know. Oh, it's just heal ailments. Okay. So, the way this build works, against regular trash mobs, you just use that to sweep them up and then do that, basically. But then, against boss enemies, we have a different strategy in mind. Stone Sword Key? Thank you. What do you do? Magic damage negation? Don't care. We've got Lightning Spear, and... Hold on, Order's Blade. There we go. Alright, so since our strategy revolves around our starting weapon, what we really want to do is just find really good passives. And the ones I really want to put a focus on are things like attack up when wielding an armament two-handed, or improved charge attacks, improved critical hits, or taking damage boosts damage negation. That's the sort of thing we're looking for right now. Aren't you glad we're not playing the normal Elden Ring? Yeah, Godskin Noble is not the greatest role for me. And the reason being is partially because of Black Flame Ritual. And partially because Godskin Noble has a lot of attacks that are just hard-coded knockdowns that you can't just endure through. Like that. There we go. Alright. We have enough time to sneak over here and try to grab another stone sword key. Wait, I went the wrong way. Yeah, shocker, me and my terrible sense of direction went the wrong way, I know. Never seen that before, have you? We're still good. We don't have a ton of time, but we should have enough. Let's not deal with Mickey Mouse's deformed cousin. Beautiful. Now, let's get out of here and go to this Everjail. Lightning attack power. I would like some more runes, because I would very much like to upgrade this weapon. You can kiss my ass. I'll take that. Alright, open up. Police, open up. Oh, you think you're so cool. See, I can just ignore your shit. Alright. That was fun. Alright, so before we get too caught up in what we're doing, let's first check to see what field boss is down here. Ancient Hero. Okay, we can probably take you. Really? The curse of the ankle high ground. It's back. You know, game. So, and like I said earlier, anything that's coded as a hard knockdown, you're not going to be able to endure through, unfortunately. And of course, the game doesn't let me use my character art. Why would it? I probably should have just dodged instead of trying to rely on my character art there, but I figured if I can get the character art off, then I can just end this fight. Nope, gotta make myself look stupid a little bit. Improve our poise. Where are my runes? Alright, now the whole reason why I came down here is I want to quick run in here and grab a purple stone. Because if we're going to be running the starting weapon from start to finish, then we need a purple stone to upgrade it. And of course we do that because there's no guarantee that Endure is going to drop on anything that we find. And honestly, if there's one thing about the Guardian's unique moveset for halberds that I will glaze happily, it's the idea that this charge heavy attack is really good. Ranged weapon attacks. Oh, two-handing. Sir, could you please just let me pick up the item? I'm not interested in your bullshit. There we go. No freebies, unfortunately. Alright, I want to hit a merchant so I can upgrade my stuff. God damn it. God, I hate dogs in this game. Okay, well, no time to do anything there. Do I have time to go in here and check for a stone sword key? Technically no, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Ooh, improved critical hits. Hold on, that's important. Alright, so let's hit this. Not that the game will let us. Excuse me. Alright, and now what I think we do is we just go ahead and take an L here. We'll fight the end of day boss at of course it's a Royal Revenant, why wouldn't it be? We'll go ahead and fight the Royal Revenant at level 6 and then come back for our runes afterwards. Excuse me, could you please go away? There we go. Alright, well that's not great, but whatever. Alright, let's go get my runes and prepare to take on another Everjail. Matter of fact, while we're over here, let's just stop at this church and get another flask charge. As you can probably imagine, since you're spending more time than usual just tanking attacks, it becomes very prudent to be able to restore your health. There it is. Alright, let's actually hit this fort real fast. So, real quick, I want to go over some of the pros and cons of this playstyle, because it's definitely got some strengths and some weaknesses to go over. And like I said, it's a very different playstyle from what Guardian usually does, because Guardian usually wants to focus on guard counters. In comparison, this is a much more proactive, kind of in-your-face playstyle. Hold on, damage negation upon landing charge attacks? That's important. But of course, the game wants to fuck with me. Alright, we gotta go the other way. Now, one of the pros of that is that you're not necessarily waiting for anything. You can just take what you've got and just go in there and get the job done. The inherent downside to that, though, is that you're not necessarily going to find any better weapon than what you started with. And one of the obvious downsides is that, unlike Wylder, Guardian doesn't have their level of strength. He definitely has more than their standing power, though. And as I brought up earlier, Guardian is actually a pretty good character to run a charged heavy attack build with. Just for the simple reason of, unlike Raider, his charged attacks don't require you to file a week and a half ahead of time in order to pull them off. But it also means that you have to get real comfortable working with Guardian's default dodge. Because unlike normal, you're not going to be using a shield to tank through everything. You are literally going to be tanking everything with your face. Okay, I probably should have just saved that, but oh well. I don't want any of that. But I will take... I will take that. Alright, now let's hit this Everjail. Okay. Gotta do it quick, though. Nice. Where are you at, bitch? More stamina, please. Alright, now we need to hurry up and get out of here. We can try... Did I already hit this fortress? I don't think I did. But before the circle finishes closing in, I want to hit this... I want to hit the township. Guard breaking, critical hits. Oh, and there's charge attacks. That's okay. Alright. Now, let's move it. You know, honestly, do I need to stop at this specific fort? And I'm here now, might as well. Alright, now let's get out of here. Alright, so we hit here, we hit here, we hit here, and we'll check the field bosses on the way. I guess another inherent con of this build is that you do need to upgrade your starting weapon, so you need to make sure you get smithing stones, but that is a technical con. I don't really count it as one because, honestly, if you're particularly talented at this game, you're probably looking for smithing stones for some of your weapons anyway. Because it is impossible to just rely on getting a purple weapon every time. Physical damage negation. Beautiful. Alright. Next, we start running. And yes, I did see it was a Draconic Tree Sentinel. I'm not terrible against the Draconic Tree Sentinel, but Guardian has a... you all know this by now. Guardian has a worse than usual dodge, and our boy, unfortunately, does not... even though Endure is a good playstyle, I don't think it's a good playstyle against the Draconic Tree Sentinel. Dude just hits too hard. Yes, we will come back for the Deathrite Bird. First, I want to hit this Everjail. I guess what I really like about this particular playstyle for the Guardian is that it makes use of his above average, of what his stats are really good at, his above average stats, without pigeonholing him into being forced to use a shield. Which, I don't have a problem with using shields, I just want you to understand that. I just like having options, and this is a particularly fun, different option. Alright, now that we've got that, let's see if you are particularly good relic for this setup. Yes and no. I would prefer the Axe Talisman, but I mean, no, I would rather just have the Axe Talisman. It's just kind of a bummer, really. And because of where the circle is ending, we've got plenty of time to try to fight this Deathrite Bird. Order's Blade just making this a breeze. And that will make Order's Blade last longer. Honestly, really good pickups there. I'm very happy with that. Unfortunately, none of that is really good. Alright, let's see if the... Let's just take out some mobs real quick and see if I can't get enough runes to make sure I have enough backup. Unfortunately, that's not good. I would... As far as I know, the only character that the Twin Blade Charm is good for... Well, it's two characters. It's Iron Eye and Duchess. Duchess, because she can continue her attack chains after dodges, so she can reach that final hit more reliably. And Iron Eye, because if he's going to be shooting at a distance, he can probably reach the fourth shot in his bow chain without too many issues. Crucible Knight is another hard opponent for Guardian to fight because a lot of the Crucible Knight's attacks are coded as hard knockdowns. Okay, we are not going to do this as a 2-on-1. Fuck that. Owie. I am not a fan of this fight. Could also just be that I'm playing like ass. Oh, where do you think you're going, bub? I don't think so. Now, because you need to know which attacks are coded as hard knockdowns and which ones you can stand through within gear, another downside of this playstyle is that it does require you to have a decent amount of knowledge of the enemies you're fighting. So you can't, it's really hard to just pick this playstyle up and then just go win. You have to at least kind of know what you're doing. Honestly, that should be good. Alright, Mr. Libra, prepare yourself.
It is done. The time is ripe.
Sure is. Alright, stamina boy, start running. Show us that endurance. Yeah, bird is the word. Oh, I made a stupid thing. Owie. Alright, should have surge sprinted there. Alright, so the one issue with, with essentially aura farming with my ult there is I can't knock him out of his next attempt at reaching an ascetic level. But I can still smash these and get some health back. GG, Libra. And there you go. That is the Endure Charged Heavy Attack style. Call that whatever you want. I call it brilliant because it's a really interesting way to use Guardian's high Poise and HP to really good effect. And before I call it good, I will once again show you the relics that I used for this. I'll hold on to it and see if it's any good. Just because it has Karian Sword Sorcery, I'm going to hang on to it. That's unfortunately not great. So once again, here are the relics. And the ones that are the most important for this are obviously Endure. Taking attacks improves attack power. That's probably like the top one. And then create Whirlwind when charging halberd attacks. And increase duration for character skill. I would also highly recommend having partial HP restoration. Everything else is just gravy. And unfortunately, very few of these skills come on a guaranteed relic, but there are a couple. Like, if I were to just search by Guardian-specific skills... Like, that one has increased duration for character skill, so that's one thing. That one creates Whirlwind when charging halberd attacks. So you've got the two character-based skills that I recommend for this for sure. Then, unfortunately, I don't know of... Well, there is one relic that does have taking attacks improves attack power just at a base. And that is Dark Knight of the Demon, but the other two skills don't really work that well for it. So if you guys know of any other relics that have that as just a base, then by all means let me know. I'm sure they're out there, but I've probably forgotten at this point. But yeah, that's all I've got for you today. So thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate you coming and spending your free time here with me today. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and you take care, everybody.